Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit Aerolarri.com. That's AEROLARRI.com. And use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Ciocca Corvettes. If you're a Corvette enthusiast, and I know you are since you're listening and watching Corvette Today, then you need to know about Ciocca Corvette. They're based in Atlantic City, where you can find over 100 new and pre-owned vets on the lot and inbound. Ciocca also ships Corvettes all over the country, custom ordered to your specifications. They're staffed with experienced pros who can answer all your questions. So don't compromise. Visit CioccaCorvette.com. That's CIOCCA Corvette.com and find out more. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. E5 Wheels. E5 Wheels is a passionate and dedicated wheel company that serves only Corvette. They make spun-forged wheels for your C8, C7, and C6 Corvette. With the best fitment in the industry, E5 Wheels ensures your wheels complement the aesthetics and functionality while optimizing the performance of your Corvette. Visit e5wheels.com or call them at 305-964-7429. And a shout out to Canadian Corvette Forum and Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. All right, here we go. It's time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here every other week, and together we keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. How was your 4th of July last week?
Man, had a great 4th of July. The whole week was great. You know, it's kind of a slower week, so expectations were less. I was able to kind of hang out, had family come down for the 4th of July. Just a wonderful day here. So, yeah, all was good and excited to get back to work and start bringing some Corvette news to the people again.
Bring Corvette news to the people. That's what we do.
Yes, we do.
Well, let's start off like we always do, buddy. Let's get a production update from the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
Absolutely. Well, it's been another interesting month for Corvette production. You know, the plant was closed last week for the 4th of July, and they do the annual summer shutdown. Workers had the week off. You know, we've been starting to do some of these specific monthly recaps based on Roger Keel's unofficial production tracker. Currently, we are actually showing 34,975 Corvettes produced for the 2024 model year. That breaks down to 26,298 Stingrays, 8,040 Z06s, and 637 E-Rays. We've still got 9 more weeks of 2024 production, so those numbers are obviously going to grow. Looking back at the month of June, there was a total of 2,304 Stingrays built, 871 Z06s, and 220 E-Rays. We saw some real movement finally with the E-Rays. We had a record 117 completed during 1 week in June. And then for the most part, after the 10th or so, E-Ray production has been in double digits for the second half of that month. I still believe we're going to see 1,000 or more E-Rays built during the first model year, and I think that's really good news. I think we're really starting to get past that ramp-up area. Just as a recap, we are expecting dealers to get their first 2025 allocations next Thursday, July 11th, and then the first 2025 order cycle will be happening on Thursday, July 18th. Even though we've got 9 weeks to go of 2024s, they are gearing up for the 2025s.
Yeah, they really are. And we did get constraints for the final order cycle of this year, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw Chevy just completed their final 2024 orders. They'll be produced through Friday, September 6th. I feel like we're ending this model year on a low point. You know, we had some really good constraints where there was nothing on Z06, but the last 2 weeks or so, the last two order cycles, Z06 carbon fiber aero and the ground effects have been heavily constrained or not available at all. So no Z07s for these last two ordering opportunities in 2024. We're not actually sure how that's going to bode for the 2025s when they start up. So I guess as mentioned, we'll know in mid-July once the 2025 ordering opens up and we get that first constraint report.
Yeah.
As for the Stingray, it's been the same, 20-spoke gloss black wheels are limited. Just selling the hell out of those, really, and Chevy just can't get enough of them in stock. We're also seeing limits on both the 1LT and the base Z51s. Chevy will tell dealers specifically how many they can order of each. The 1LTs have been constrained, and we know a lot of dealers are doing dealer stock orders. Chevy doesn't want to see full dealerships filled with 1LT cars, so I think they limit the 1LT, the base Z51, so that you have to order those upper level models within the Stingray.
Okay.
There are dealers that will order heavily option cars as dealer stock, but we see a lot of other dealers, just go with the smaller cars or the 1LTs, the 2LTs with limited options. So it's good to see that, and I think that's only going to help.
Yeah, I think so too. And since we're in the third quarter, we saw a real healthy number of cars delivered in Q2.
Steve, this was a huge number. Chevrolet says that 2024 had the best first half year of sales since 2015.
Wow.
And of course, we know 2015 was the year that the Z06 came out. So the 2014 Stingray and then the Z06 came out the following year. So they were selling like hotcakes back then, and we're seeing that same kind of trend right now. General Motors delivered 9,338 new Corvettes to customers during second quarter. This was a 2.3% increase over the 9,125 Corvettes sold in 2023. For the calendar year, there were 17,914 new Corvettes delivered so far. And of course, that is up 5.2% over last year as well. And again, to remind our listeners, these numbers are based on actual deliveries of new Corvettes to U.S. customers. These aren't Corvettes that are being produced. These are Corvettes that are being sold and delivered to customers in only the United States.
Wow.
So again, really healthy numbers. We keep a chart of Corvette deliveries as we get these numbers from GM. I've been doing it since like 2007 or 8. So these numbers go back away, and I was able to go back and see that, 2015 is the last time we saw a second quarter this good. Kudos to GM and Chevrolet, and again, for all the sales reps that are getting these cars out to customers.
Outstanding. That's awesome. Also, this is really cool, too. It shows a little bit of vision for the future. GM filed for the Zora trademark in Mexico.
Yeah, so I know what many of you are thinking. You're thinking Mexico, right? Well, again, it's all part of Chevy's C8 World Domination Tour. It was, I think, back in 2018, GM did a round of trademarks for the Zora around the world. We saw the name registered in the United Kingdom, European Union, China, Japan, Korea, Australia. We think they probably did Zora one time in Mexico before. This is probably a re-registration. Here in the United States, GM has trademarked Zora 3 different times now. They got it in 2014, they renewed it in 2018, and they've renewed it again in 2022. And I believe in the United States, they have to register an unused trademark like every 5 years, which is why we're seeing that.
Got it.
Back to the Zora registration in Mexico, the filing says that the name will be used, quote, for motor vehicles and their structural parts. So this isn't for memorabilia or for apparel or anything like that. This is for naming a motor vehicle. So once again, it's just another indicator that GM will be releasing a Corvette model called the Zora, and it will be available for export like all other C8s.
Yeah, we're connecting the dots for you. It seems pretty easy, doesn't it?
It does at this point. When they're doing these federal registrations all around the world, people definitely take notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Keith, we had the fire department show up at the Bowling Green assembly plant. What happened over there?
Yeah, see, the two things keep me up at night, and one of them is a fire breaking out the Corvette assembly plant.
Exactly.
It's not like we've never seen that happen before, right?
Right.
On the night of June 24th, WNKY-TV in Bowling Green reported that the Bowling Green Fire Department and hazmat crews were dispatched to the Corvette assembly plant after hours. This was like around 10 o'clock at night. a car was reported to be on fire inside the plant. And quoting WNKY's report, they said, quote, "Scanner traffic indicates that a vehicle caught on fire inside the building. It is believed to be lithium-ion batteries may be involved. According to scanner traffic, hazmat crews were called, but were quickly downgraded." Our friends over at the Mid-Engine Corvette Forum were the first to reach out to a plant spokesperson at the Corvette assembly plant. Their statement was BGAP did not experience a fire. They said the plant security team was notified of smoke, started investigating. Emergency services were called as a precaution, but they said it was a false alarm.
Good.
Get a little two different stories now. Now, here's the kicker. Our friend Rick Conti says one of his sources confirmed in the plant, yes, it was a lithium-ion battery from an E-Ray that caught fire. They were able to put it out almost immediately. What the real story is, something we'll probably never know, but we can understand why GM might be a little skittish about confirming one of their new hybrid electric Corvette vehicles had a little thermal issue within the plant. Again, you say, well, there's smoke, there's fire. There was definitely some smoke, enough to call out the fire department and hazmat crews, but nothing that was so major that required them to actually get into work and action. Who knows what the real story is there, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. All right, buddy, time for our first break. When we come back, it's Corvette racing and Corvette rumors on deck next, here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome, with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The National Corvette Restorer Society is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of affirming and promoting the preservation and restoration of the Corvette. 50 years as the foremost Corvette collector car organization for building value with its prestigious awards. Have you ever considered joining NCRS? Over 70,000 people have. We're so much more than just the nuts and bolts. The NCRS flight judging program can and often does increase the value of America's sports car by researching and publishing the leading tech manuals and judging guides for the 1953 through 2007 Corvettes, by training the best judges and by hosting local, regional, and national judging events. And when you join, you'll get award-winning magazines like Corvette Restore and Driveline all throughout the year. Joining is simple and easy. Just go to ncrs.org and sign up. There are NCRS chapters all throughout the U.S. and all around the world. Chances are there's a local chapter near you. So join NCRS today at ncrs.org. We come for the Corvettes. We stay for the friendships made along the way.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
And now, back to Corvette Today with your host and my husband, Steve Garrett.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. You want your Corvette looking its best, don't you? Well, dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty too. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call. 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my partner in crime, Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger. Every other week, we keep you current and up to date on what's happening in the world of Corvette. In this segment number 2, we always talk about Corvette racing and Corvette rumors. Keith, let's start with Corvette racing at the Glen. How did that turn out?
I really thought we had this, Steve. I thought this one was in the bag and so frustrating. You know, Tommy Milner, the number 4 Corvette, last 10, 12 minutes of this race was just doing a masterful job of holding off an assault on the second place Aston Martin. This Aston Martin was all over Tommy, and they kept cutting away to show us what was happening with the prototype cars, and we didn't know what was going on. They flashed back, and Tommy was still ahead. Then all of a sudden they move it. We don't know what happened. Tommy's gone and the Aston Martin wins. And it turns out that, I guess we'll call it the unthinkable since Chevy keeps using that word these days, is the Corvette had to pit on the very last lap due to fuel. That put the Aston Martin first, and the number 3 Corvette was able to score a podium finish with a third place result at least. It wasn't a total wash, but man, I thought we were there. There was no word of any kind of fuel issues. Next thing you know, the car just darted off into the pits and the Aston Martin goes on to win. That was a tough one. I wasn't real happy with that result. I just kind of sat there after the race, you know.
That's why I hate it when we run out of gas.
Sometimes it gets you. The IMSA team travels to Canada this weekend for the Chevrolet Grand Prix at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Then over in the World Endurance Championship, I say in Europe, however, those Corvettes will be in Brazil for the 6 hours of Sao Paulo, Brazil on Sunday as well. So racing on 2 different continents on Sunday. That's exciting, Canada and in Brazil. And then we've also got the other 2 Corvette Z06 GT3R racers from DXDT Racing headed to Virginia International Raceway as part of the GT World Challenge. They actually won their last 2 outings with Tommy Milner at COTA. And the great thing about these races is I think they're just an hour each. You can watch them on YouTube Live. And then this race will be held at VIR July 19th through the 21st. So not this weekend, but the following weekend. You can watch those. Pretty good stuff there. A lot of Corvette racing happening this summer. And so trying to keep everybody up to date on where they're going to be at.
Very cool. That sounds good. Let's switch over to rumors, Keith. We saw the ZR1s going to the Milford Proving Grounds, and the Ferrari SF90 Stradale was joining them too.
Yeah, we had a lot of big news a couple weeks ago with the ZR1 and Zoras were sighted testing outside Milford Proving Ground. So here's how this all went down. So we get an email from our spy photographer in Detroit with the latest sightings of the ZR1 with the SF90, the Ferrari. I think there was 5 cars in tow. There was 3 prototypes. There was a Stingray and then also the Ferrari in this group that were coming into the Milford Proving Ground. I write it up as the ZR1. Minutes after I post it, I go back and I look at the photos again. I get big photos from the photographers, 4,600 pixels or 6,000 pixels wide. So really blow stuff up. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the car, and it just hits me like a lightning bolt. I see the vertically mounted radiator on the front corner of the car. That's exactly the difference between the Z06 and the E-Ray, a vertically mounted radiator on the driver's front quarter, because the E-Ray has 3 different cooling areas, and that's one of them that handles, I believe, the front motor and also the cooling around that motor and the batteries and such. Pretty interesting that we did see that. So looking at the spy photos, that radiator was on 2 of these cars, the prototype without a wing, and then it was on the prototype with a really big high wing. Those appear to be Zoras. Those appear to be performance hybrids. We think with the ZR1 twin turbo V8, and then you have the front motor or electric motor in the front there to keep things going. Just blew me away. So a third prototype with the Z06 style wing didn't have the vertically mounted radiator, so we probably just assuming that it's, just the twin turbo ZR1. So, I mean, that's literally how this stuff works. They always joke on the Corvette team, we just released this car and you're already asking about the next car. It's like, well, we always want to know what's new in the market. So,
right. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I always go back, tell the photographers, whether I pick up their videos or their pictures or not. So I told the photographer what I'd seen. I said, man, I think this is the Zora. And so the very next day, he sent me another batch of photos, some that were seen with the first newer photos as well. Again, 2 of the 3 prototypes had that vertically mounted radiator on the front. And now it makes a whole lot of more sense why we see GM testing with that performance hybrid Ferrari that also makes about 1,000 horsepower. It's all kind of coming together, Steve.
I'm still connecting the dots, Keith. That sounds so darn cool. I'm really looking forward to this car coming out on the 25th. And we did find out also that it's going to be a 2025 model.
Yeah, so from the moment GM released its first teaser back in April saying the ZR1 would be released this summer, they never told us what the model would be. It was always the C8 Corvette ZR1. At the end of June, GM sent out an email to those that have signed up for ZR1 emails, and that email stated the Corvette ZR1 would be arriving as a 2025 model year. Great surprise, as we were really starting to think that the reason they weren't mentioning the model years was because it was going to slip down to 2026. But in the email, GM also has a link that says explore the Corvette lineup, which takes you to a page over on Chevrolet.com. And within that page, there's a section there about the 2025 ZR1 as well. So not a typo. It looks like the ZR1 is coming in 2025. To get to that page on Chevrolet.com, you just go to Chevrolet.com, click on Vehicles, and then in the Performance tab, you'll scroll down, you'll see a Cross Flags logo, and it says Explore the Corvette lineup. So it's like one page with all the different models on it, as opposed to like if you just go to like the Stingray page or the Z06 page or the E-Ray page. They kind of give us a whole overview of the C8s and then the things that make each of the models different. And then there is a sign up there for ZR1 News if you want to get those emails from GM as well. I definitely signed up, and you can sign up there as well.
Very cool. That's a good idea. Everybody, Keith's favorite color is purple. When Hysteria Purple came out for next year, I think Keith was real excited because I know you want an E-Ray, buddy. Have you been photoshopping this Hysteria color?
Well, I joked earlier that there's two things that keep me up at night. One of them's a fire at the Corvette assembly plant. The other is buying a new Corvette in a color that I've never seen on a car yet.
Right.
I was attempting to Photoshop new Hysteria Purple Metallic onto one of the configurator images. Really hard because I took 4 different pictures of the speed shape models that were shown at the NCM Bash. They're all a little bit different. You know, you select a color, you're only selecting one little tiny color within this frog that's all different shades, purple on the back or depending on how the light's hitting it. I came up with 2 different images. Again, I know they're not right, but it's a better representation for me trying to think of, okay, what kind of brake calipers work with this? Do I want to go with darker wheels or lighter wheels? Really having some fun with this. But again, it's a really tough color to Photoshop. It's either too purple or too blue. There doesn't seem to be a nice mix there, but going to have some more on this later. So if you're a Hysteria fan, continue to stay tuned because I've got something else I'm working on that will hopefully give us a good representation of the color as well.
Buddy, I got 3 words for you. Order that E-Ray.
Well, it looks like I'm coming up if we're going to. So.
That's good. That's good. All right, time for our final break, Keith. When we come back, it's the lighter side of Corvette on deck next, here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Yogi Berra once said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there. At True Wealth & Company, we take that to heart. See, at True Wealth & Company, we believe your retirement lifestyle travels through 2 doors. Door number 1, the blue door, gives you more options, financial freedom. Your money outlives you. Every happiness you wish for in life is through the blue door. Door number 2, the red door, is where you outlive your money. You rely on family, friends, or even the state to take care of you. At True Wealth & Company, we're not just financial planners. The best way to walk through the blue door is to have a written plan. Make a work-optional lifestyle a reality with our proprietary True Life Map formula. Look towards your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Having a rock-solid fiduciary partner like True Wealth & Company is essential to effective financial planning. There's no winging it. There's nothing left to chance. Look, we don't want you to become another Yogi Berra-ism. Give us a call today at 913-653-TRUE. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Start your financial independence and work-optional lifestyle today.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Rev up your ride with the ultimate upgrade. The Radiator Grill Store is your go-to destination for top-notch C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray accessories. Elevate your style with custom-painted engine bay covers, sleek front splitters, and side skirts that scream sophistication. Keep your C8 protected with premium Radiator Grill screens. Stand out from the crowd at car shows and beyond. Use code CT10 for an exclusive 10% discount off your total purchase at radiatorgrillstore.com. Don't miss out on turning heads. Upgrade your Corvette today.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. You want your Corvette looking its best? Well, dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call, 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. If you want a deeper dive into any of the stories Keith and I cover, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this final segment, we always cover the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, this is interesting. Boost District did a twin-turbo E-Ray, and it ran a 9.55 quarter mile. Wow.
Yeah, that car is really hauling. Roshan is the owner of Boost District, and he had his twin-turbo E-Ray back at Texas Motorsports Park doing these quarter-mile runs. It's like nighttime. It's like 100 degrees in the dark there. I mean, it's not the most ultimate time to test a car, but I guess it was cooler in the dark than it was in the daytime.
Probably.
So, what's different about this time, though, is that he actually has a set of drag radials on the back of the car. He said traction was really having a hard issue the last time he was at the track. Of course, he had dynoed the car. The rear wheels are making 875, so we can definitely see why. So with the drag radials on, he was able to really hook up and go. He made multiple passes on this night and was able to surpass his previous record of 9.7 seconds at 153 miles an hour with a best time of 9.55 seconds at 147. This car will be going back in the shop. More engine work is going to happen to it. And Roshan says they're working on their 1,200 horsepower package. So more parts going to be thrown at this car, and then hopefully we'll go even faster. Really can't wait to see what's going to happen there.
Man, a 9.55 quarter mile is fast. I can't imagine it going any faster, you know?
You got your weight on the car. I figure as long as they're able to hook up and especially keep those front wheels hooking up, I don't see why they couldn't go a little bit faster. Of course, at 9.55, that is 1 second faster than the 10.5 factory time. So you threw $20,000 at the car and you got a second faster. That's a good start, I guess.
Yeah, that's a definite good start. A lot of you might not know this person, but there's a singer named Lana Del Rey, and it looks like she autographed a C8 Corvette, just like I autographed some guy's Corvette over at the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance.
Yeah, I bet your classic rock station doesn't play many of her songs, but
no.
Actually, Rolling Stone calls her one of the top 200 greatest singers of all time. I've known about a little while. I think I might have a song or two of hers, but not a huge fan, but I definitely know who she was. She was actually in Greenville, South Carolina, and local fans found out. We're all waiting for her to come out after the restaurant. When she came out, she was signing autographs, and one of the fans asked if she could sign the rear of her torch red C8 Corvette Stingray.
Wow.
Luckily for the fan, the moment was captured on video. Lana turning to the camera after signing it and pointing to her autograph on the car. The owner then had it covered and sealed so it'd be protected for posterity, and now I guess she has a Lana Del Rey edition.
Wow, there you go. All right. All right, Keith, there's also a YouTube channel called Ideal, and they did a nice video about the ZR1 coming up.
Yeah, I call these ZR1 explainer videos, and sometimes they're really poorly done. They always have a picture of a car on the front that's like a Stingray that's been AI'd or something like that. Actually, for this one, they used a Segala wide-body C8 Stingray, and I thought, oh, God, this is going to be garbage. But the channel has 1 million subscribers. Once I started watching it, it's actually a really good video. They do dive right into the engine. They got some cool graphics discussing whether the engine will be a flat plane crank like the Z06. They also go back and look at all the different ZR1 models that come the year before. It's about a 10-minute video, and I found it actually quite entertaining. So you can see that on our webpage or search Ideal YouTube channel and can see it there on YouTube.
I usually don't watch those things, but since you suggested it, I did watch that one, and actually it was pretty good. So many of these YouTube channels claim to say, we've got the inside track on the new ZR1. Nobody's got anything, but these guys did a really nice job of putting together what they think the ZR1's going to have.
Exactly. Well, again, why I call them ZR1 explainer videos. I thought they did a nice job with it, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, check it out for sure. Also, this is pretty cool. Van Bortle Chevrolet opened up a $6 million facility just for Corvettes.
Yeah, they're one of the largest dealers in New York. Their owner, Kitty Van Bortle, has been around Corvettes since her dad, I think, ran one of the top stores in New Jersey after Malcolm Connor dropped off there. She's been in the car forever, but it was always her dream to have a dedicated standalone Corvette facility. We got the news a couple years ago that they were planning on building it, so they just got it open. I think they've got their very first Corvette Club event coming up in a weekend or two. So congratulations to our friends up there, Van Bortle Chevrolet in Rochester.
That's really cool. Well, buddy, thanks for being back on Corvette Today. Happy summer, and I'll talk to you again in 2 weeks.
Sounds great, Steve. We see you out on the roads out there. Keep waving, people.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Ciocca Corvette at CIOCCA Corvette.com. E5 Wheels at E5Wheels.com. True Wealth and Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.